Good evening. Here I am again, just sitting on the porch, thinking about the new year. You know, the new year's supposed to be, I guess, this time where we think about the future, things to look forward to. And I guess if you were an optimist, you'd have a lot of hopeful things to talk about. If you're a realist, you would say, well, be prepared for rough times, but hope for the best. If you're a pessimist, I guess you would say, no, it's all going to fall apart anyway, so what's the point? I think I'm somewhere in between tonight. The future doesn't look very positive for me. If the past has any say about that, I've never really had a lot of things go particularly well for me, and I don't mean just the past couple of years, just in life in general. So I guess you could say I'm a pessimist who's trying to be a realist. And everyone wishes I was an optimist. Now I know that our hopes and our joy isn't supposed to be on this world. We're supposed to find those things in God and Jesus. But I'm also human, and I get tired of seeing the bad things happen, you know? I'm tired of seeing pain in certain people's eyes in my life. Hey, I have an interview coming up. That's something, right? For a new teaching position. Right now I'm working as a substitute. But this position will be teaching social studies, history, at a high school. So hopefully that goes well, and I can pick up the pieces of everything. The company that is what we call the grain elevators here, basically these ships on the Mississippi River here. I'm about a few blocks, you know, from the levee, where the Mississippi River is, and where the ships come by with all the grain. They pull up on the river there, and the company right behind me, you might be hearing a noise. The grain gets pulled off the boats and shipped across the levee, across the street, River Road we call it, and then into the factory back there. So that's what they call the grain elevators, because it's like an elevator that the grain rides up. Yeah, I know I'm not supposed to be using a torch lighter, but it's all I've got. Anyway, Comes to the factory, and from the factory they load it onto a train, and not 20 feet from the house is the train tracks. So luckily I don't have a train going by right now. Side note, I was out smoking my pipe one day, and the driver of the train came out of his engine holding up a pipe and his bag of pipe tobacco, calling out to me. Apparently he smokes aromatics. So talked to him a little bit while they were waiting to load more cars up. That was a while ago now, but still, it's just a funny memory. Every time I see the train go by, I don't know why my foot itches so much. Anyway, point in all of this is that the company wants to expand. They're going to be making soy. For all you soy boys out there, hey, got a bunch more they're going to make. And so they're going to expand and make their operation more efficient and make more soy. So everybody on my street, on this side of the street, because on the right side, that's another company. On this side is Bunge. And Bunge has bought out everybody on our side of the street. So now we're the second to last, really, that's going to have to sell. So we're selling, and going to be moving to a new house. Don't know where yet. So we got to figure that out. Hopefully not too far. Because if we go too far, oh look, I got a match sitting here. There you go. Instead of using my torch, I can use a match. Hopefully not too far, because I still need to pick up my kids when they visit. And if I get hired for this new job, I'll be teaching in New Orleans. Or, yeah, I think it is New Orleans. Yeah, it's New Orleans. Off of Magazine Street. I probably shouldn't have said that, but oh well. Don't nobody track me down. Knowing my luck, the person to do that would be somebody psychotic. Anyway, I'll be teaching if I get hired in New Orleans, and it sure would suck if I got to travel over an hour to get to the job, because then I'd have to, God, I hate mornings, and then I'd have to get up super early to make the commute. I should probably have a pipe ready every morning. That might relax me. So hopefully I get that going. Don't tell anybody, but I'm hoping that if I get the good job going, I might be able to get my kids to live with me instead. But that's only if their mother goes along with it. So I'm not hopeful about that. But at the same time, I'm trying to hold on to it. My daughter particularly has a hard time leaving me. So, and I don't like it either. What else is going on? Started reading a new book called The Great Facade. Now, if you're Catholic, if you're not, you should be. There's a lot of talk about what's going on in the church nowadays with this Pope. This Pope is, in my opinion, a Mason, and at the very least, a material heretic. There's a difference between a formal and material heretic, in case you don't know. If you're not Catholic, you probably don't care anyway, so I won't explain it. But anyway, this horrible Pope of ours doing a lot of damage to the church. And there's a lot of talk of that coming from, or a big part of it having to do with what happened in Vatican II some 50 years ago, and how it kind of changed all our ways of worship, and seems to change the way some people believe or interpret what it says to mean they can believe different things. The reality is different. Truth doesn't change. But there are some people who have taken what the council said and interpreted it in such a way as to have this brand new thing. And The Great Facade, the book I'm reading, deals with a lot of that, what he calls neo-Catholics, which are basically like right-wing liberal Catholics, you could call them. They're somewhere in the middle between traditional and modernist, who they themselves are actually not really helping the situation, even though we might agree on a lot of things. But so yeah, that's going to be a good read, I think. I'm really into that kind of stuff. If you've never seen anything else I've ever put out, I used to be in seminary many years ago now. This is my seminary sweater, by the way. Bonfire. We have a bonfire every year. I love that. Anyway, it's my favorite sweater from that school. So of course I'm very much into philosophy, theology, church, coming and goings. At least I try to be. It interests me to a certain point, until I get aggravated. Until I get aggravated with all the watering down of the truth and whatnot, and then I got to get away from it for a while. But yeah, there's a lot of that going on. Like I said, I'm picking up old hobbies. I always played video games when I was younger, and that stuck with me as I grew older. So I'm picking up my Xbox again to find some kind of outlet, you know. Next, that's also why I got into pick my pipes again, pipes and cigars. I got a whole bunch of cigars too now. So, when I'm not sitting out here trying to be at peace, reading a book, doing studies for history, teaching, and trying to live life. Trying to get by. I hope hope everyone else who sees this is doing much better and everything's going fine with y'all. Got my meerschaum here. It's my Missouri meerschaum corn cob. I think it's the Mark Twain. One of my first corn cobs. And I found some. I had a jar of mystery tobacco. I smelled it and was like, oh, this smells good. I think I found a treasure. But it's just some LA Red I had left over that was just not labeled. So, man, 14 minutes. Wow, 14 minutes went by that quick. What else did he say? Hopefully my kids will watch this one day, and you'll see, what did Dad do when we left? What was he doing with his time? Thinking of y'all, and trying to get things back on track to give y'all a better life, to save you from some hardship that I know is coming your way. And I think that's it. That's all the updates. Also, I have my nieces. When I think of the kids, I think of my nieces too, because my nieces, I kind of look at them as my daughters as well. because their dad left, and so I try to step in for them when I can. If you're praying, if you're the praying type, keep them in your prayers, because they're dealing with the emotional hurt and mental problems of a father that left them when they were young. There was 5 of them. My sister was pregnant with the 5th one when he left. He just walked out to be with his best friend's wife. And now he basically told the eldest of them to, oh well, too bad, and I don't regret a thing. So that's a fun trip to go down. So they've got some burdens to, hopefully they'll work through with the grace of God. You hear all the crickets crying for rain. It rained all day, they're still crying for rain. Little buggers. So, alright, well, I'm not going to keep this up because I don't know what else to say. I just figured I'd say a little bit and then go my way. So, God bless, take care. Bye-bye.